just wanted to ask you about
Yeah, he got a little dehydrated, but we just held him out. He knows what to do. So.
How do you see him adjusting this year after coming back as the leading receiver from a year ago? A lot of times you've had an Emmanuel Sanders and Aldrick Robinson, and at least statistically, he's the top guy coming back.
Well, he's a hard worker. He's really worked hard in the offseason. You know, having a quarterback background, he's been a real leader for the young guys, teaching them what to do when they came here. And he's just a class guy, a leader, and a winner.
Shead, what do you like about him? I mean,
he's fast, he's big, and he can run. What I don't like about him, that's probably the better question, but I would say looks to me like he's a big-time running back, you know, for us. You know, he's kind of the size that, you know, we're looking for, that he can hold up blocking. He catches the ball. He's pretty instinctive running, so I'm anxious to see him play.
Has he shown you anything that maybe you didn't see on tape when you were recruiting him? Has he?
Well, he's a little quicker. You know, he really has great vision, and he quickly makes decisions in creases. So, which is, the great ones have that kind of something that others don't.
And I didn't ask you this yesterday, but I'm talking about accurate. But if he plays, would he be a true two-way player?
Well, yeah, he would be. Yeah, he would be. He's going to play probably more on defense, but there are certain situations we're going to use him on offense. And as it progresses through the season, he may end up more on offense. You know, he knows what he's doing on defense. I'm not really worried about it. He'll get his time on offense here in the next week or so.
And does it help him? How much does it help him that he's got the smarts?
Well, he's really smart. He's just a football player, and you know, being on the other side of the ball, it kind of helps him this past spring know what we're looking at, you know, and so it helps him make him a better defensive back.
What are you expecting from Garrett Gilbert in terms of his leadership as one of your
Well,
seniors?
he's been a leader since he got here. I think his expectations upon himself were pretty high, and you know, he's got more confidence. He understands what we're doing more, and I think it'll show up earlier this year. I think it really only showed up his competitiveness and really threw the ball more accurately toward the end of the season. So I think that'll play out. That hopefully he'll just start where he left off.
You said yesterday that 3 or 4 of the freshman receivers have sort of caught your eye a little bit. Could you envision a situation in which several of them play, or for the purpose of roster management, would you like to limit to 1 or 2 the number of freshmen who get on the field?
No, if they're good enough, they're going to play. And it looks like we have maybe 3 or 4 that will play. So.
On that running back, Casey Limchey, he's been on campus for a while now. I know that his blocking ability has held him back. Have you seen any improvement in that?
Yeah, he's worked really hard. I mean, he's getting better, and you know, now he's just got to do it, you know, in a game when we give him a chance to play. If he proves it there, then he's, you know, going to earn some time.
What are your rules? Or do you have rules on Twitter for players?
Yeah.
I mean, is that a concern of yours? And what kind of rules
I talk about it, and I don't, you know, we don't tweet from anywhere inside the locker room or anything like that. And if I find out they do, then they pay a price for it, or on the sideline, or during the game, or anything like that.
Now, obviously, after these practices are done, you are busy watching film. Is there anyone that's, you know, popped out on film that necessarily you didn't see at practice live?
Well, the safety from Florida really has caught my eye.
Darren Richardson?
Yeah, he's a real smooth, big athlete, and he looks like an NFL safety. I'd say D-line wise, just watching Mason Gentry's caught my eye. So has Zelt Minor. Zelt Minor is a really good player. Maybe the best kid we've been able to get.
You mentioned Mason Gentry. Obviously, he's a big kid, but I think he's only played 1 year of football.
He reminds me of Marcus, but he's a tremendous athlete.
Are you surprised that he's shown you that much that early in his development?
Well, you know, I have had success with guys like that before. So Kaika Lama Francis never had played the same way. Reminds me of him, and you know, sometimes those guys don't have bad habits. They do what they're taught to do. And if they're athletic enough, they come along faster.
another big guy that you have with not much experience, Jerry Sienna, or
Yeah.
however you pronounce the last name.
Yeah.
What have you seen out of him on the film? I know he's raw.
He's raw, but I can tell he's going to be a player. You know, he's a really, really good athlete. He's smarter. You know, he's going to be a football player. And whether he plays this year, which he has a chance to be quite honest, or not, you know, we'll make that call as we get going. But if he keeps improving, he's got a chance to compete.
The depth at cornerback and safety
Way
seems
better.
like that's a real interesting deal going into it.
It is. It's really helpful. You know, last year in 4 days we lost JR and Horace, and man, that just depleted us. Now we got them back plus some rookies in there, so we're better than we've been. And there's some competition there for sure. Like I think JR is a big time player.
Does that ever shock you when, from my standpoint, been here out 4 years now, when I see this team, it's kind of shocking to see the development. I mean, are you in that same boat too?
We're more athletic and faster because we've done a good job identifying players that who can play.
Did you recruit different players knowing that you're going to a different conference at all?
Not really. Not really. I mean,
different styles of player, like taller cornerbacks or anything like that?
No, we recruit off the film. They make plays. I don't care how big they are. You know, where other schools turn down our Rambo. Rambo is this good linebacker. In fact, I can still remember when Rambo was up. Half the staff was too small, this and that. But you look at the film, he's MVP, both sides of the ball in a 5A deal here in Texas. I said, we're taking that guy.
Yeah.
Guess what? He's a great player and a great leader.
And in the past, you've done a good job of converting guys to different positions. Is there anybody out there?
Yeah, there's a couple that are kind of we're thinking about. Yes, to answer your question, I don't know that we'll do it. They're red shirt kind of guys, but we're going to give it a couple more 10 days before we try to look at a person in a different deal. But yes, to answer your question, there are a couple guys.
You talked yesterday about deep snapper, and you mentioned Zach Wood and Taylor Lasecki and the new guy, Jordan Topolka. Do you envision having one guy do snaps for both punts and field goals, or do you desperately want it to be two different guys because of two different roles?
Two different guys because the little guy you couldn't put in field goal.